Welcome back to Casual Evil, where we delve into the chilling stories that expose the darkest corners of human nature and peel back the layers of ordinary people committing horrific crimes. In today's video, we're focusing on the tragic and awful murder of Sophie Lionnet, a young French au pair. Sophie, full of hopes and dreams, moved to London for a fresh start, but tragically, she ended up in the hands of her employers, who ultimately became her killers. Their actions were not fueled by bloody past, organized crime, or an outwardly dangerous lifestyle. It was an ordinary couple leading seemingly ordinary lives, but behind the closed doors of their London home, the unimaginable unfolded. Please remember, this video contains discussions of abuse and graphic details, which some viewers might find disturbing. In 2016, the French countryside bid farewell to a hopeful 20-year-old Sophie Lionnet, who decided to explore life beyond its calm vistas. Sophie was described by those who knew her as a soft-spoken, kind, and imaginative individual with a heart full of aspirations. London, a city teeming with life and culture, was her chosen destination, offering opportunities that her small town could not. Upon her arrival in the city, Sophie found employment as an au pair with a seemingly well-to-do couple, Sabrina Quitter, a fashion designer, and her partner, Wissem Medouni, a financier. The couple resided in a lavish home in Southfields, a suburban neighborhood in southwest London. With a toddler and a home to look after, Quitter and Medouni needed an extra pair of hands, and Sophie, who loved children, seemed a perfect fit. Initially, all seemed well. Sophie was excited to be in a new city, and the job allowed her to experience London while earning a living. She was unaware, however, of the darkness that lurked behind the affluence, the smiling faces, and the promises of a good life. To the outside world, Sabrina Quitter and Wissem Medouni portrayed the image of a normal couple living a somewhat luxurious life. But within the confines of their home, they harbored dark secrets, powered by paranoia, manipulation, and an escalating wave of violence. Little did Sophie know that her dream of a London adventure would soon morph into a terrifying nightmare. The turn of events in this case is as surreal as it is chilling. Quitter and Medouni led a life marked by delusions, particularly those conceived by Quitter about Sophie's alleged collusion with Quitter's ex-boyfriend, Mark Walton, a founding member of the successful Irish boy band Boyzone. This delusion became an obsession, leading Quitter and Medouni to interrogate Sophie brutally and relentlessly. Even though Sophie denied these baseless allegations, her pleas fell on deaf ears. The cycle of paranoia, accusations, and torment escalated over time. Not only did they deny her the basic right to food and sleep, took away her passport, but they also subjected her to physical and emotional abuse. These atrocities were recorded on mobile phones, serving as a grim testament to the ordeal Sophie endured. The recorded footage uncovered a disturbing narrative of cruelty that included violent interrogations, physical abuse, and relentless emotional torment. The couple's paranoia and violence culminated in a horrific murder of Sophie. The exact details remain hazy, but it's known that in September 2017, Sophie was killed in the bathroom of the couple's apartment. The autopsy revealed fractures to her sternum, foreribs, and her jawbone, painting a gruesome picture of the brutality she had suffered. To conceal their horrendous act, Quitter and Medouni decided to dispose of Sophie's body by burning it in their backyard. They initially claimed it was the result of a bonfire, but the neighbors grew suspicious of the unusually thick smoke and reported it to the police. The responding firefighters discovered Sophie's remains, leading to the couple's arrest. When the police apprehended them on September 20th, 2017, both Quitter and Medouni denied the murder. They spun a web of lies, claiming Sophie had died accidentally in the bathtub after a confession of collusion with Walton. However, the recorded footage of the abuse, the relentless interrogation, and the horrific state of Sophie's remains pointed to a sinister truth far removed from their claims. The story that emerged was of a young, innocent woman trapped in a web of escalating paranoia and abuse. Sophie, isolated from the world, was subjected to the couple's cruel fantasies, leading to her tragic and untimely death. The psychological dynamics underpinning this case are both complex and chilling. Quitter and Medouni's psychological conditions play a significant role in the atrocities they committed. Quitter was diagnosed with BPD, a severe mental disorder marked by patterns of varying moods, self-image, and behavior. These symptoms often result in impulsive actions and problems in relationships. People with BPD may experience intense episodes of anger, depression, and anxiety that can last from a few hours to days. Quitter's BPD likely fueled her delusions about Lionet's conspiring with her former partner, Mark Walton. Quitter developed an intricate and dangerous delusion that Sophie Lionnet and her ex-boyfriend, Mark Walton, were colluding to harm her family. These unfounded beliefs, amplified by her BPD, led her to see Sophie as a direct threat that needed to be addressed. Meduni appeared to be heavily influenced by Quitter's delusional beliefs, succumbing to her domineering personality and becoming a part of the abusive pattern. This demonstrates a form of coercive control, where one person dominates and manipulates another over time. The toxic dynamics of their relationship reinforced and perpetuated the cycle of violence. In the quest to get a confession from Sophie for a crime she never committed, Quitter and Meduni dehumanize her, treating her not as a person but as an object. This lack of empathy is a common characteristic found in many severe personality disorders and is often a precursor to extreme acts of violence. This case exemplifies how unchecked mental health issues, combined with toxic relationships, can create a dangerous environment leading to heinous crimes. Following their arrest, the trial of Quitter and Meduni began at the Old Bailey, London Central Criminal Court on March 19, 2018. The details that emerged during the court proceedings sent waves of shock and revulsion through the public and media alike. The jury listened in disbelief as they were presented with horrific audio and video recordings showing Sophie's abuse. It included the distressed Sophie being interrogated, screamed at, and threatened, providing a chilling testimony to the atmosphere of fear and torment she lived in. Quitter and Meduni presented their defense, sticking to their story that Sophie's death was accidental, a result of her own admission of guilt. They claimed that they only decided to burn her body in a state of panic. However, the prosecution dismantled their defense, providing clear evidence of the escalating violence Sophie endured. The extent of Sophie's injuries, the couple's delusional accusations, and the grim footage of the abuse painted a clear picture of the horror that unfolded in their Southfields home. The trial lasted over 2 months. On May 24, 2018, after deliberating for nearly 30 hours, the jury found Quitter and Meduni guilty of murder. The crime was described by the prosecutors as something out of a fairy tale, not for its magic or romance, but for its senseless and monstrous cruelty. On June 26, 2018, Quitter and Meduni got what they deserved for their despicable acts and were sentenced to life with a minimum term of 30 years in prison. Their sentencing was not merely a punishment for their unthinkable actions, but a firm message to society underlining the consequences of such heinous acts of violence. In the wake of the trial and the shocking revelations, a wave of anger and sorrow swept through the public, especially in Sophie's hometown. Her friends and family mourned the loss of a gentle soul whose life was brutally cut short by a torrent of unfounded accusations and violence. Beyond the personal loss, the case raised critical questions about the care and safety of au pairs. It sparked debates around the need for stricter regulations and safeguards to protect young individuals like Sophie who leave their homes to work in foreign countries. Additionally, it cast a spotlight on the importance of mental health awareness and intervention. Quitter's untreated mental disorder, coupled with Meduni's enabling behavior, culminated in a tragedy that might have been prevented with timely intervention and support. Finally, it teaches us that casual evil isn't always committed by hardened criminals or deviants. It can reside within ordinary individuals who allow their fears, insecurities, and delusions to override their humanity. As we conclude our deep dive into the Sophie Lionet's case, let's remember Sophie as a young woman full of dreams and aspirations, tragically caught in the crosshairs of a couple's destructive paranoia. Thank you for joining us today on Casual Evil. Until next time, stay safe and keep seeking the truth.